YouTube Nation, Main Event TV, aka Me TV, aka sometimes, man, I'm just saying sometimes the sun shines on a dog's ass, if you get what I'm saying. And I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about today. As you can see, I'm in a great mood today. But today's show is brought to you by the Cliff Lee bobblehead doll. That's right, the bobblehead doll. That's right, Cliff Lee, right? We're up like this. Raise your hands if you have the same amount of wins as Cliff Lee this year. I'm just saying, Phillies, you messing up. I know what's wrong, Cliff Lee. I'm just saying, look, I'll put it like this. Phillies, you messing up. The bullpen really needs to get on the, on the ball, man. You cannot tell me that this is okay for Cliff Lee to not have any wins when he is pitching as great as he is. It is ridiculous. And I put it like this, Phillies fans, I understand that you are upset. It's understandable, but I told you guys they were going to be bad. Not this bad, but they are bad, all right? And I'll put it like this. Qualls, I don't know why he hasn't been designated for assignment. I really don't. Brad Lidge has been designated for assignment. I'll put it like this. Bring him back and put him in, in a relief role. Yeah, I'm saying that because he's better than Qualls. That's right. He's better than Qualls at this point. I don't want to hear. I know you can say Lidge. Yes, I know. Lidge, all right? Now, I will put it like this. The Washington Nationals right now are taking the NL East. Do I think it's going to stay that way? No, I don't. And I'm telling you like this. Phillies fans, understand, if we are 13 to 15 games out before the All-Star break, we will not make those up. We won't. Chase Utley and Ryan Howard, when they come back, will not be at superstar form. It takes a while to get back into that groove. So if you think on first day, all of a sudden they're going to start smashing home runs and playing great, it's not going to happen. It takes a while to progress into that. All right, so any way you see it, it's going to be tough for Phillies fans come down the stretch. Now, New Yorkers, listen to me real quick. Holla at me. Listen, all right? I think, and I know it's going to piss off a lot of Phillies fans, I think that the New York Mets may take the NL East this year. They may take the NL East because I don't think Washington can keep this up, all right? It's going to come down to Atlanta, and we know Atlanta right now is not doing very well, and the Mets. So that's all I'm going to say right now, okay? Now, I want to say before I start this show, about other things, because we're talking, you FCers, we got to talk, all right? But I want to say I'm doing this show early today. Hopefully I get it out to you guys because I have a meeting today with 97.5, The Fanatic. That's right. They got in contact with me this morning, and they need me to come up for a meet and greet and have a meeting and everything. So I will be talking in the studio today with Mike Musinelli and Darren Dalton. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they let me bring the camera and pictures. I can take pictures and all. And if they do, I will be showing this stuff on the Twitter, okay? Just to show you guys that I'm there, all right? I'm not playing around anymore, I'm telling you. But it's all good. Let's get started. I want to talk about soccer. We'll talk about Euro 2012. First, I want to say that before any game started, or should I say a certain game with the Ukraine, there's apparently some problems out there with their march. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's see what the media had to say about their march and how it disrupted with the police.
This game, there have been some reports from Reuters that there have been some skirmishes, and Reuters also reporting that in the last hour, the march has been halted and has since dissipated. We can also tell you it is the 20th anniversary of Russia Day, on the independence of Russia from the Soviet Union. And as news warrants, we will report it here and give you the very latest on what is happening in and around the National Stadium and Warsaw, and if this in any way will affect the game coming up later. Once again, the march by 5,000 Russian fans on the way to National Stadium ahead of the Poland-Russian game has been halted. Reports of skirmishes, and as a result, the march has now dissipated. And again, we will keep you up to breast of all the latest that happens there in and around Warsaw. As the game about to kick off around 2:45 Eastern Time at National Stadium. Here's the venue where it will occur. Obviously a big game for these two nations. We'll let you know what is happening outside the stadium as well, right here in our Euro 2012 studio. Stay with us.
Now the media did say that they would keep us updated on everything that's going on, but they didn't. That was the thing. They never did. So apparently, I take it that everything went fine with the friendly, or it would have made a bigger deal, in the news if it did. Now, I do want to move on to, real quick, Netherlands versus Germany. You guys wanted me to review this, and watch it and commentate on it? No problem. I'll put it like this. Start a friendly. Netherlands and Germany battled really hard for about the first 5 to 7 minutes, okay? And it seemed like it was at a dead heat match, but then all of a sudden Netherlands started playing a little bit aggressive. But between missed opportunities and good goalkeeping from both ends showed that this was going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight.
And Bravo with it.
questions later, Marquez. What a shot. Dipped. Very late from Ozil, and that took a little bit of watching. All blocked off, away goes Robert. Finds Van Persie, movement is good, and he's weak on right foot and a long way off target. They needed to have his shooting boots on tonight.
Yeah, that's them for Podolski not being strong enough to be holding the ball. They broke quickly to Van der Veer, and then Robin Van Persie, as you said, he just pulled it on his right foot. Here's the snapshot from Mesut Ozil. Clearance by Van Bommel. It's the post and forward.
And then, tipping in the 8th minute of play, Germany decide to turn on and show the Netherlands that they mean all business.
Here is Moore, who won the Golden Boot in the World Cup. Schweinsteiger, through again, beautiful run, Gomez! Beautiful move by Germany! It's Super Mario again! Gomez to Germany! Beautifully taken. Lovely technique by Gomez, and with the presence of mind to finish at the end of it all. 41 goals for Bayern Munich this season. He's now scored in the last 3.
Germany fans, what did I tell you about Mario Gomez? When you saw the look in his eyes, when you guys lost to Chelsea in the final, I told you, I said, the look in his eyes, that would not sit well with him. And he's showing that he's better than what people give him credit for. But as soon as Germany scores on the next run, then the flopping starts.
Williams again caught out, and it might be a yellow card for him as well. I'm not sure if he caught him, or the referee's going to give him the benefit of the doubt with that.
Yeah, that's just an experience again, Ian. Got caught before. That was a simple throw and gets caught again. There's not a soul in the box for the German side because they run it so quickly.
And while Germany tries to keep up the pressure, the Netherlands goalkeeper, after giving up 1 goal already, still tries to keep things at bay.
Right. That shoot was arriving to the back post. And here he is! Oh, he's a point-blank range straight. I'm not sure Stecklenburg knew much about it, but that probably...
But the goalkeeper is only one person, and with lapses of defense on Netherlands' end, Mario Gomez makes sure that you pay every time.
Against an attack which is used to scoring plenty of goals. Schweinsteiger, they're finding on tonight to boom, and there's another one too from Gomez. Beautifully finished. It's a great goal again, and the Germans here are playing like champions.
Where are they defensively?
He's seen his team being ripped apart.
Look how easy this goal is. These are the World Cup finalists. Look, he's tight. Look at Schweinsteiger, free as a daisy yet again. Lovely ball in, first touch. I mean, the finish was sublime. The finish was absolutely sublime.
Stecklenburg goes down very early here.
Yeah, and this is a wonderful angle. Cowan is down the floor in the right. He didn't have to do anything, Mario Gomez, to get the opportunity.
3 goals in the tournament now for Mario Gomez. 1.5 matches.
Defensively, I'm sorry to say, the touch.
Going into the first half, Germany makes sure that they will take every opportunity as possible, even on the last kick.
Here's the Schweinsteiger delivery. That took a deflection and needed punching over the top of the back by Stecklenburg. That is the last action of the half. The Netherlands in massive trouble with 2 goals down at the break, both by Mario Gomez, and the defending of the Netherlands, frankly, awful. Lots to talk about at half time as we go back to the studio, and first of all it'll be Botley, of course.
After giving Germany so much credit for the way they played in the first half, and the Netherlands goalkeeper for trying to keep things at bay, they open up the second half, Germany, with more flopping.
Gomez trying that jump in again. Acting it, cutting it out and getting some words. There, Gomez is acting like he's trying
out in the replay. It was probably accidental. He probably was caught on the face. Gomez. Solid. Nothing wrong with that. Just an arm in the face.
Now, I will say that, look, the first Germany game I watched not too long ago, there was a lot of flopping involved. However, this flopping was down to a minimum in this game, which I am proud to say, because that would have been sickening to watch again, all right? But I will point this. Germany does get back to what they did best in the first half, which was exposing the Netherlands, holes in their defense and trying to take advantage of them. But the Netherlands goalkeeper still fights, pretty much stands on his head just to stop all these kicks.
At times he looks okay. As I said, it's a hamstring problem, we wouldn't be able to do that.
Look at Phillies here. Invited to go in and shoot. Has another go in, Scotland back. Tips it aside, but nobody within 10 yards when he received it. Kadira alongside him. Kadira again, Gomez making a little run ahead of him. Kadira goes on, wants the return ball. And Scotland back. Rather unconventionally punched it away from him and then picked it up.
Trying something to unlock this German defence.
Gomez is in again here. Narrow angle. Not this time.
Now, I will say, throughout this game at the time, the announcers were bagging on the Netherlands quite a bit because of the way they were playing. But it seems once the Netherlands actually got a good look at the net, the announcers finally give them some credit.
Oh, this time he's got through back on that left foot. Lovely piece of play. Strike a chance. Fantastic work from Marquez. Now that was more like it from the Netherlands.
Much better. Direct play. Robin on the right flank this time, cutting in on his left, going past the two players and picking a pass out, which is great to see. It's on the arm, I think, Ian.
Well, if it hits him on the arm, it's a penalty.
Oh, no, it's right in the midges, and it's a great block by Jean.
With blood in the water, the Netherlands finally get into a rhythm, and then they see the back of the net.
The goals and he's delivered them no problem.
Van Persie. And this time, the Netherlands hit one. It's Robin Van Persie. And that changes a bit, doesn't it? With his right foot, too.
And what's a strike he was here with his right foot. Lovely goal. Simple turn by Van Persie. Smashes it past Neuer. Great strike with his so-called weaker foot. Goes through Backstier's legs, that's what it is. But if you don't have a shot, you don't get any rewards, and he gets it here through Backstier's legs.
That's what I'm talking about. Now we have ourselves a game because throughout the entire time we were seeing Germany dominate them. Now that they're clicking on all cylinders, they finally get down there and put Germany on their heels. But then as soon as they feel the opportunities are there, they start complaining that they're not getting enough calls from the officials.
He's Robin again. Starting to create one or two things, isn't he, down there? Snyder gets a little 1-2. Down goes Van Persie. Referee says no.
And as soon as the Netherlands are playing well, they falter back to where they were in the beginning, and the goalkeeper almost gives up an embarrassing goal after having such a great performance.
And they'll leave the others at a stage like this to scrap for that one other place. The Netherlands are not quite dead, despite no points, or it looks like no points so far. And they've got one last attack in them here. Is there one last chance for the Netherlands? Oh, Steckland back! It's messed that up nearly in close and really got that in. Oh my goodness me. That could have been so embarrassing for the keeper.
Just kick it. Why do goalkeepers think they can play football?
After that mistake, Germany pretty much puts the game on cruise control and finishes the game.
And since the Dutch goal, they've just taken control of the game. They deserve to win this.
Yeah, very much so. And I thought, really, look, substitutions have been very good. Made at the right time. And as you said, snuffed the one off.
The age-old rivalry ends with a German victory. 2 goals for Manny in the place. And Germany win 2-1 to move into the quarter-finals of Euro 2012. The Dutch got a goal back for Robin Van Persie, who is
scored another one. But the Germans looked like their potential champions here, didn't they? Yeah, a little bit of actors on the field. Jim Bolton, Marquez, and Phillies. But I thought it was a powerhouse performance from the Germans. They looked really impressive. And even though they just scored, they were totally in control. Very, very classy performance this evening. The Netherlands clutch a lifeline in the final game. There's still no point then in this tournament. Let's take you back to the studio now and Bobby.
Well, it's one sided as you can witness for about 65 minutes, and then the Dutch awaken, get a goal. But even though the Dutch have lost, they are not eliminated. Even though Germany are on 6 points with 2 convincing victories, they have not qualified for the quarterfinals. Such is the state of affairs after the second match day in Group B.
Now, both teams played hard. I don't know how you can sit and trash on both teams. I mean, I understand if you're Germany, you're going to say, yeah, we're the best. I understand it. It's all rivalry. The Netherlands are not eliminated from contention just yet, all right? And I will put it like this. When I was watching that game, this is what I mean about having too many games at once. Because the Italy game was on and the Spain game was on. I couldn't watch both. So when I turned on the Italy game, this is the first thing I saw.
And so is that the first flourish from one of Euro 2012's potential superstars, Balotelli, with a spectacular effort? Not much celebration from Mario Balotelli, but there should be. This is spectacular. What a good finish this is. Not just the strike, but the way he just used his arm and his shoulder to keep the defender away. Jonathan can't get close enough to try and attack this ball. How about that for contact? It really is spectacular there. Again, shaky, but it's too close to him. He can't react. There's too much power on it. Brilliant. It is confirmed. The final whistle has gone in Gdansk. Italy a throw, and see what it means to Gianluigi Buffon. An Italian celebration in Poznan. They are into the quarterfinals of Euro 2012. They go through as group runners-up behind Spain, and will dream of glory in the latter stages here in Poland and Ukraine. We will see more, much more, perhaps, from Italy. That's it from us, though. Hope you enjoyed our coverage. From me and Robbie, it's goodbye for now. We'll send it back to Bobby.
Now, I will say that the Ireland-Italy game is something I was actually interested in because I know how good of a team Italy is, and I expected Ireland to go further in this tournament. So someone had to lose. I understand that, okay? Someone had to. But I will say, because I did not get a chance to see the Ireland-Italy game, that I will show you guys the highlights of what they showed on ESPN for it.
The Irish, Gigi Buffon, the captain with 4 changes in the lineup for Italy, 3 in the defense just in front of him. The Irish with black armbands commemorating a shooting in the Troubles 18 years ago this very day. And Dina Talley in the 30th minute from all those Irish fans is blocked by Sean St. Ledger.
Yeah, and he probably gets away with one here. It probably would have been harsh, but I've seen him given for a lot less. It looks like he may have handled the ball. No, he didn't handle it. That's a good block. The referee said, I don't want to know about it, son.
And another attempt 4 minutes later. It was
great run by Dina Talley. And difficult to see, but he tries to as well. To score from that position, it's unbelievable.
And as play continues, Cassano's on target. And Dion has to put it out of bounds.
This was huge. This little mistake from the keeper creates a corner, and then we will see what's coming.
Just over the line. What a goal!
Cassano beats his man to the spot, and then when he heads it back in, shaky, he just can't get a handle of it. He gets one hand to it, knocks it behind him. No controversy here. The ball's over the line. It's clearly a goal. Clearly a goal.
The one goal Italy needed. The Irish weren't done. There was an injury here in the 56th minute as Giorgio Chiellini puts his hand up in an awkward battle here, and he lands.
Well, this is just, he falls very badly on it, but it could be very, very costly for Italy if they're going to miss Chiellini.
Bonucci comes on for him. Ireland, their best opportunity in the 79th minute. Keith Andrews, free kick.
Good read by the keeper, because that came through a wall of players. And he got down on it and he punched it away. Really well taken. That was the one Ireland wanted.
And Balotelli, who did not start, entered in the 75th minute, Michael. And when you're a striker, a diva, you want to do something just like this.
And it's a great goal. I mean, look how strong is this guy, you know? Bang at the goal. Oh, bounce it in.
Well, Italy had 12 corners. They scored off of 2 of them.
No, man, the world's not against you.
Okay. But immediately, his teammates, he didn't quite see it, they went up to him, put their hands over his mouth before closing, saying anything at somebody. That would be yelling at an official or at the coach, why didn't you start me? But here are the brackets. You can see Spain won the group. They'll play the second place team in Group D on Saturday. Sunday, Group D winner takes on Italy, that finishing the very second in the group.
Like I've said before, I can't keep up with all these games. And you guys said in the comments last week, you know, hey, Event, wait till the Olympics start. You're really not going to be able to catch up. Well, I'll put it like this. If the Olympics are like these announcers, where they think they know the athlete and have no idea what they're talking about, it's going to be really fun to cover.
On these full spins on one arm. So we'll go a bunch of them in a row coming up right after this move.
Oh boy, and she has changed her routine. She's a little bit confused and maybe she wasn't confused.
I'm telling you, man, it's going to be fun to cover the Olympics this year. I just know it is. But you know what? I need to move on. I need to talk about boxing. Now, for those who don't know, Timothy Bradley, because we talked about Manny Pacquiao and Bradley, you know, rematch coming up. And I said last week that, hey, I don't want to see a rematch. There probably won't be a rematch. It's not, you know, really not that sellable, all right? And if they are going to sell it, I told you how it will probably be sold. Well, now we're finding out that this week that there won't be a rematch on November. That's right. Manny Pacquiao will fight Marquez again, part 4, and I will talk about that in a little bit. But first, before all this, Timothy Bradley came out and said that he was going to give Manny Pacquiao back his belt. Now, what I don't understand here is that Timothy Bradley says, you know, after looking at the tapes and, you know, listening to the fans and haters, what haters? I don't understand this, all right? If anyone's going to be hated, it's the judges for making that decision, not Timothy Bradley. So I'm not understanding where these haters are coming from, Timothy Bradley. You lost the fight. There's nothing else to it, all right? But even Andre Ward, who backs you before this fight with Manny Pacquiao, says you need to give him back the belt because it made boxing look bad and everyone that's in the business look bad. And if you don't believe that, there's a link in the info bar for you guys for that as well. All the stuff I'm talking about today, links in the info bar, okay? But it's interesting because Freddie Roach comes out and says, after Bob Arum, as we all know, has announced that this is going to be a fight, all right, the Marquez Pacquiao 4. Freddie Roach says that Marquez deserves another shot at Manny Pacquiao. But it's interesting he would say that because a lot of fans feel that Marquez was robbed, I included. But understand, before the Bradley Pacquiao fight, Freddie Roach came out and said that Marquez didn't deserve another fight with Manny Pacquiao. Roach now says he does not see the point in putting together a 4th Pacquiao-Marquez fight. They know each other so well, if we can't get Floyd, I don't see why we fight Marquez again, he said. He also goes on to talk about how Pacquiao beat him already 2 out of 3 times and doesn't need to fight him again. So what's the rush of a Pacquiao-Marquez 4? Oh, I forgot. Pacquiao doesn't have anyone else to fight. Here's the thing. So I said before in the comments to you guys that Sergio Martinez deserves the shot at Pacquiao because he is the 3rd-ranked pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He is only behind Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. He deserves the shot. However, we are finding out now that on Pacquiao Marquez 4, the undercard, Sergio Martinez will be fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., all right? And I guess whoever the winner of that is will eventually fight Pacquiao at this point. Look, guys, understand, they don't have anyone else left to fight. And this is all Bob Arum. This is not Manny Pacquiao. This is not Freddie Roach, okay? This is Bob Arum's doing. This is why I cannot stand Bob Arum, all right? Get some guys out there to fight him. I'm not talking a bunch of bums either, all right? He's starting to remind me of Mickey and Rocky, you know, in Rocky 3, where he was just beating up bums, all right? And then Mr. T came along and knocked him out. That's what this comes down to. All right, Manny Pacquiao is pretty much just fighting a bunch of guys who just really aren't on his level. All right, are they contenders? Yeah, But come on now, they're not on his level to fight. So it's a comfortable win for him. That's what it comes down to. So this Marquez fight, I feel, will be a good fight. But, I mean, come on. After all the stunts that's been pulled, you have to understand why I am skeptical about things going into the future when it comes to this camp. You have to understand this has nothing to do with Floyd Mayweather. And I will talk about Floyd Mayweather real quick because Floyd Mayweather... Excuse me, Floyd Mayweather says that his living conditions in jail aren't the greatest and he wanted to get out. And now the judge is saying, no, you can't get out of it. Floyd Mayweather, understand, you are in jail. What do you expect? You're not going to get the red carpet treatment. It's not going to happen. Stop. You have to toughen up. That's what it comes down to. Toughen up. We didn't hear Mike Tyson complain when he went to jail. No, didn't hear any of that. All right? You have to understand, Floyd Mayweather. Now you're in some serious, I'm telling you, you're in the dirt. You're in there with the rest of them, all right? So you keep your mouth shut. All that flashy stuff that you do, yeah, that's not going to work in jail, all right? There's guys in there that got, you know, life twice, 2-3 times over. You think they care if they heard of Floyd Mayweather? No, all right? Keep your mouth shut and do what you got to do, all right? You were in there for 3 days before you started complaining. Stop this. You're not getting no royal treatment, all right? And that's what it comes down to. Doesn't matter how much money you have. They should put you in pound-me-in-the-ass prison. That's what they should at this point. And I say that when I mean for every person who thinks that they can get over when it comes to jail because they have money. It's not just Floyd, all right? That's what it comes down to. Now, I want to move on to basketball because Lil Wayne, we got to talk about this. We talked about last week Lil Wayne and his coonish ways when it comes to, you know, dealing with, you know, OKC. Well, for those who don't know, Lil Wayne finally got courtside to OKC, and for those who don't know, his security made a 5-year-old girl cry because she was trying to take pictures of him and with him. That's right, and security stopped her, saying you can't do that and everything. And then the girl's father went over there and pretty much gave him an earful. All right, that's what it came down to, which he should have done as far as I'm concerned. You don't act like that towards a 5-year-old kid. Lil Wayne is not that serious. He is not that important. I don't know why people keep thinking they are or whatever. But then Lil Wayne complains because he's being treated like a normal person because he couldn't go out there when it comes to exiting the game. He didn't leave with the superstar exit. He had to leave in the regular exit like everyone else. Why do they even let this guy even at the basketball games more? Just ban him. All right, you guys were telling me that he said that the Lakers were his team. So why has he been riding the heat for the previous 2 seasons? It makes no sense to me. All right, look, he's already said he was against OKC since the Spurs. Don't even let him in the building anymore, all right? That's why I put like that. You know, for it to be so racist, you were so quick to, you know, accept that invite after you said it, weren't you? I'm not trying to hear it, all right? Because if it was something that was racist, you would have really not went back, even if they offered you. I don't want to hear it, all right? You're garbage. You will always be garbage. I don't want to hear it anymore with this guy. I'm so sick and tired. He's been taking up, my show for the last 2-3 weeks? I'm done with this dude, all right? Now, I do want to move on because we're going to talk about people who think that their egos, you know, because they're more self-centered and it's about them more than the actual sport. And we're going to talk about one David Stern. Now, for those who don't know what happened last week with Jim Rome, let's listen to the interview that pissed off David Stern.
You know, New Orleans won the draft lottery, which of course produced the usual round of speculation that maybe the lottery was fixed. I know that you appreciate a good conspiracy theory as much as the next guy. Was the fix in for the lottery?
You know, I have 2 answers for that. I'll give you the easy one. No, and a statement. Shame on you for asking.
You know, I understand why you would say that to me, and I wanted to preface it by saying it respectfully. I think it's my job to ask because I think people wonder.
No, it's ridiculous, but that's okay.
I know that you think it's ridiculous, but I don't think the question is ridiculous because I know people think that. I'm not saying that I do, but I think it's my job to ask you that.
Have you stopped beating your wife yet?
Yeah, I don't know if that's fair.
Why is that?
Because I think that and I know you read your emails, and I'm sure you follow things virally and on Twitter. People really do think it, whether it's fair or not.
Well, they think it because people
you don't think the question's fair to ask if your fans think it?
Silly questions. I expect it to be written about, and you know, I commented last night at my presser that there was one guy who I won't dignify by name. He says, I have no reason to know anything, and I don't know anything, but I tell you, I believe it's fixed. Okay, that's good. Why is that? Well, because this team won it, and if that team won it, it would have been fixed also, and if that team won it, it would have been fixed also, and if every team was invited to have a representative there, and if there were 4 members of the media there, and if Ernst & Young certified it, you still think yes. So
I think two things. Which response to this? I think two things. Number one, I don't think so. I don't think so, and I'm not covering myself. I don't think so, but I think by asking the question, it would not suggest that I think so. But the one thing I would say, the league does own the team, does it not?
Yes.
Does that not make the question fair?
I don't think so. Number one, we sold it. We're going to close this week. We already have established our price. I think that if it had gone to Michael Jordan, and which was the next team up with in terms of a high percentage, there was David's take care of his friend Michael, and if it had gone to Brooklyn, which is going into Barclays Center, it would have been fair to speculate, I suppose, that we want to take Brooklyn off of the mat. So there was no winning, and people write about it, and it's okay to write about it, and we sort of expect it, but that's not a question that I've been asked before by a respectable journalist.
I think I understand why you're frustrated by that. I think that I understand why that would upset you. I would hope that you would not hold that against me.
I wouldn't hold it against you. You and I have been into more contentious discussions than that.
I don't know. I'd put that one right up there.
Well, it's good copy, and you do things sometimes for cheap thrills.
I did not do that for a cheap thrill. That's not what that was.
Well, it sounded like it.
No, not at all. No, see, that's my point. That's where you and I, that's our point of disconnect. That was not a cheap thrill, and I was not throwing anything against the wall, and I was trying to be as respectful as possible. I'm just saying that people wonder about that. And I don't want to ask a question by, here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to say, hey, Commissioner, people would say, because I'm going to ask a direct question. But people did wonder. But that was not a cheap thrill.
Well,
I got no thrill out of that.
It's a cheap trick.
No, flopping is a cheap trick.
No. But listen, you've been successful in making a career of it, and I keep coming on.
Making a career of what, though? Commissioner, I take great offense to that. Making a career of what?
What offense?
Cheap thrills?
Are you taking offense?
I am now. Now I am. If you're saying that I've made a career of making cheap thrills.
Your time, taking on the world, and now Jim Rome is pouting. I love it.
No, I'm not pouting. I take offense. There's a difference between pouting and taking offense. I take offense to that like you took offense to the question. What if I said, were you pouting when I asked the question?
Get offenses. You want to hang up on me?
No, I can't hang up on you because I'm running out of time. I would never hang up on you.
Okay. Listen, I got to go call somebody important like Stephen A. Smith now. He's up next.
Now, look, I'm going to go on record here and say this. I do not like Jim Rome. He does have a history of trying to get a rise out of people so that he can make something of himself. He does. But in this interview, he did nothing wrong. All he did was ask a simple question that a lot of fans are asking themselves. He did the right thing. All he did was go and represent, what the fans think. It's one question. It's a fair question. He even says, in his opinion, he doesn't believe it. But he's asking you amongst the fans. And David Stern has the nerve to say, well, are you still beating your wife? Number one, I didn't even know that Jim Rome beat his wife, okay? I didn't know that. He's wrong for doing that. I don't know the whole story. I'm not even going to comment on that, okay? But I will put it like this. David Stern, you got shook. That one question, I'll put it like this. If you're getting that riled up and that angry over one question that you say isn't true, then guess what? It has legs. There's no reason for you to act that way. No reason at all. And don't sit here and tell me that it was okay for David Stern to go that far. Because I've seen so many comments, oh, David Stern, he owned Jim Rome when he said that. What does that have to do with the situation? Jim Rome stayed on topic, all right? David Stern is the one who acted like a little kid. That's what he did. He got mad. And then afterwards, after everything happened, we saw Michael Wilbon come out and interview David Stern, which was pretty much ass-kissing at its finest because Michael Wilbon didn't even want to ask him anything. He was so scared to piss off David Stern that he just wanted to kiss his ass the entire time. Michael Wilbon, you've always been a joke. All right, now you've just set the bar even higher for you to be a joke. I will not ever listen to you again. You had a chance to really do something on live TV because David Stern would not act like that on live TV. No, it wouldn't happen. All right, but you sat there and you played the safe route instead of asking questions that we all wanted to know. Why didn't you bring up Tim Donaghy again, especially with all the refs and everything that's going on in this series? Why didn't you bring up David Stern talking about flopping like Jim Rome did? And David Stern was like, no, it's not a cheap trick. Yes, it is. It is. All right. Then you ask him, about is there any announcements that he wants to make? And he says, no, there's no announcements I want to make. This is the same guy who talked about flopping and it was a concern last 2-3 weeks and hasn't made a move yet. Now we're finding out the NBA is looking into it. That's not enough, all right? We're going to wait till the season's over and then do something about it? You've got to be kidding me. This is a joke. And then on top of this, all right, David Stern, when he says the gym room, I have to find some more important people to talk to like Stephen A. Smith. If Stephen A. Smith, I won't even say Stephen A. Smith just yet. If Jim Rome wasn't that important, then why do you keep going on his show? Because you and I both know that you want to talk to him. It's that simple, all right? You can say no to him, you can deny it, but you don't want to. And you want to talk about Stephen A. Smith. You mean this Stephen A. Smith who thinks that you have to earn foul calls instead of the refs calling them straight up?
All right, Dr. Phil. Let's be clear about something here, okay? Kevin Durant is absolutely getting the respect that he deserves because he deserves very little. He's a rookie in the NBA Finals.
Oh, so that's the story.
This is growing pains.
Oh.
Excuse me. You don't get those calls. Oh. Kevin Durant is a superstar. There's no doubt about that. And I don't say that to malign him in any way in terms of lack of respect. There are certain calls that he should have gotten where you would expect a superstar of his caliber to get it. Until you take into account the fact that this is his first appearance in the NBA Finals and he's primarily a perimeter player, and sometimes because he's so skinny, I mean, if you have bad breath and you breathe in his direction, he might quiver a little bit. So all
Did you just take a shot at Kevin Durant?
Not at all. I'm simply saying when you look at him, if you look at him and his body is moving in a certain way and it's jerking or whatever the case may be, you might look at him as an official, consider him a relatively miniature guy in terms of mass and girth, and you may say to yourself, no, that's a bit more embellished than it really is here. This is the NBA. This is a man's game. Welcome to big boy time. And that's what's going on here. LeBron, and yet not only that, again, we have to give LeBron credit.
Thanks for showing us you don't know a damn thing about basketball, Stephen A. Smith, because I put it like this. It is a ref's job to call it straight down the middle, to call it fair. Oh, I forgot, this is the NBA, where we have superstar treatment. That's right. So if you're not the same caliber player or a high caliber player, you won't get a call. That is a fix. Don't you understand that? There's a bias. Guys, stop this. This is what I'm talking about. Use your brains. You know better than this. You know not to fall for this. But yet people want to say, it's not fixed. It's not fixed. All right, you can keep telling yourself that, all right? But right then and there, it shows you that the referees are clearly doing something wrong. That's simple. And they're not being held accountable, or they're being told to, which we've seen in the past other people have accused them of being. So, what do we do here about this? All right, fans? Because apparently David Stern's not going to do anything about this. Should we stop watching the product, or should we stop taking basketball so seriously when it comes to the NBA? I understand there's a lot at stake when it comes to money, you know, endorsements, contracts, and things of that nature. So I understand the business side of it. So you do want to take it seriously because there's so much investment into it. But if they're not going to clean up the game, if they're going to keep making a mockery of the game, why should we still watch it? That's the question I pose to you. And I want to talk a little bit more about this because apparently now it's time to just crown LeBron James. It's just give him the real king crown at this point. Because I put it like this. We saw in the past everyone compare so many people to Jordan, right? And LeBron, as we all know, still being compared to Jordan. But before then, let's look back. We had J.R. Ryder. We had Harold Miner, you know, baby Jordan. We had Kobe Bryant, right? In 06, we had Dwayne Wade. We had Vince Carter. Back to Kobe Bryant. Now, LeBron James time. You have to understand that the NBA is always looking for the next Michael Jordan. I don't care about stats. I don't care about stature. You have to understand, if LeBron James is only putting up, and I put, yeah, only 30 points a game, but doesn't show up in the fourth quarter, there's a problem. But apparently now he's the most clutch person in the entire world, or as Magic Johnson would have you to believe that.
A very different team.
Well, because LeBron James won't let him lose now. LeBron James was fantastic in the fourth quarter. I mean, all game long, but in the fourth quarter, he was involved, Michael, in just about every play. Whether he was scoring or passing, he just really took it to the basket strong. This was a pretty move right right there. And so LeBron is willing his team to victory.
So let me get this straight, Magic Johnson. LeBron James won't let his team lose in the fourth quarter. He wills them to win. Where was LeBron James at the first 9 seasons then? I'm just wondering. See, people, understand where the meat wagon is when it comes to LeBron James and how everyone jumps on it. Like I said, this is meat loving to the fullest. This is man wagon jumping. I cannot take it anymore. You know what, guys? I'm done for the day. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I know the game is tonight, and it's ridiculous if we have to see Kevin Durant sit on the bench all damn game again. It's ridiculous. Seriously, I will be watching. I'll talk to y'all then. I'm out.